everyone. This should be another relatively quick and easy video to follow. So today we're going to cover off using knowledge articles within the Employee Center. So one of the things that I've called out a couple of times is these widgets on the homepage. At the bottom, you'll see that we've got some recommended knowledge articles, and this is dynamic based on a certain logic within the system. I mentioned before, it could be department, it could be role, could be anything really that you want to set. So this is what it's flagging up to me at the moment. Equally, we can go into, we'll go into technology services because I know there's articles within here. And I'm going to filter by articles, and we're going to have a range of things within here. So similar to the request that I've done before, we can create this as a favorite if we wanted to. So I'm going to do that on the create an email signature article, and I'm going to go into here. So what you're then presented with is a range of information and content that could be in these articles. It could be text, it could be videos, it could be links, it could be pictures. Basically, think of when you go to any standard website, finding that information. So you can see here that as we scroll down, we've got a table embedded. It's giving us some directions on how to use stuff. So it's not particularly complicated or revolutionary, but this will help you try and solve some of your problems yourself. Or it could be you're looking at a policy for finance or expenses or HR, for example. So come here, try and find these things, and they are presented often when you're trying to submit issues, for example, to try and help you along your way and try and self-serve. A few things that are also worth calling out on the knowledge article page is on the right-hand side, we've got this dynamic widget which shows you the most viewed articles. So based off, again, dynamic real-time information. One of the things you can also do is that within ServiceNow, which compared to things like SharePoint, you can actually subscribe to articles. So if versions are updated, and again, using the policy analogy, if policies are updated, or in the tech space, if different versions of operating systems are updated, then you can follow that and you'll be notified if there are any updates. We can also flag this article. So if there's any kind of issues, we can flag this. And this is going to go to the back-end users, those knowledge managers. If there's any, it could be there's something spelled wrong, for example, or there's some inappropriate language, whatever that might be. But that option is always there. We also have the ability at the bottom to indicate whether it's helpful or not, and also rate it. So if it's 5, then you're not prompted to do anything. If it's low, then you can also set this up so that you're prompted to provide feedback on why you give it this rating. So sometimes companies will set it up so that anything under 3, you're prompted to provide some feedback. And then similarly, on the right-hand side, we also have this, whether this was helpful or not. And this feeds into this most useful column as well. So as I mentioned before, there's a couple of things that you can do, just like we showed you on the flagging an article. We can bring up some of those things and you can be prompted to provide feedback. And it's very much a business decision on how you want to utilize this functionality. And then similarly on posting a comment, we can also add in here. So if I wanted to just put, to show you the functionality, I've just put XYZ in here and I'm going to submit. So you can have live comments on here. Again, a lot of companies like to restrict this, but it gives you that interaction, that community interaction and problem solving amongst the community. It might be that you found a different way of solving a problem, or setting up an email signature because it's on a different technology like Gmail rather than Outlook. So you've got a range of different functionality all within this knowledge article. In its most basic sense, come here to try and find information on how to solve things yourself, how to act, and how to make decisions in your business life. But then you have all of these other things to feed back anything that you feel is critical to the people who are maintaining these knowledge articles. So that's just another quick whistle stop tour of knowledge via the Employee Center, and hopefully you found that helpful. Thank you.